Hi guys and girls, a video here on Pythagoras exam questions. There will be a mixture of 2D and 3D in this set of questions. I think there's 8, sorry. So we're going to have to rattle through reasonably quickly. Let's get cracking. So we've got A, B, C, D is a trapezium, AD is 10. Yeah, that's all marked up, 10, 9 and 3. The right angles are all marked up. Calculate the length AC. So we are being asked to find that diagonal there. So if you were to cut out the triangle ABC, we know that AB is 9. We do not know BC. And we need to find the hypotenuse of that. We can't do that at the moment. We can't, alright? So we need to find a way of finding out the length BC. Well, thankfully, if you chop off the top of the trapezium, there, we know that this length here is going to be 6 centimetres. Scribble out that 9 for now. We know the hypotenuse is 10 and this is a right angle triangle, so we can use Pythagoras to find the width of the trapezium that way. So we have, let's call that, what should we call that? P. P for the part that we chopped off. So A, P, D is 6, 10, something. So doing Pythagoras with this is 10 squared is 6 squared plus, let's call it x squared. So 100 is 36 plus something squared. So 64 is something squared and the something is 8. So the width BC is 8 centimetres. So if we now go back to our original, we've got 9 and 8. So AC, we'll call that X this time. Actually, no, let's use a different letter. Y. We're on a different diagram doing a different calculation, so we should be using a different letter. So Y squared is 9 squared plus 8 squared. So that's 81 plus 64. It's 145. This is all y squared. So y is the square root of 145. Then go to your calculator. It asks us for 3 significant figures. So it's the square root of 145, which is 12.0. 12.0 centimetres. Right, it asks for 3 sig figs, so you really should put that 0 in, otherwise you've not got 3 sig figs. Okie dokie. Next one. Diagram not drawn accurately. Calculate the length of AB, which is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle, to 1 decimal place. So that's a straightforward Pythagoras question. So x squared is 14 squared plus 9 squared. So 14 squared is 196, or is it 16? Hang on, is it 196? My brain's just, yeah it is, brain's just stopped. And 81, so x squared is, that's going to be 4 off of 281, so that is 277. So x will be the square root of 277, and this time we're asked for 1 decimal place. So go to your calculator, square root 277 is 16.6 centimetres. Part 3, no diagram here, but ABC. We don't know that it's right angle. I've drawn it on equilateral. I'm going to draw it random. I'm going to call it A, B, C. Doesn't really matter how you draw it, to be fair. AB is 7 centimetres, BC is 4 centimetres. By calculation, deduce that it's right angle. Okay, so if, maybe it would be better to draw it slightly more representative. So A to B, say A to, where does an arrow come from? A to B is 7 centimetres, B to C is 4 centimetres. So if it's right angle, 4 centimetres plus 7 centimetres is x squared. Now we've got to work out what x is, and then we're going to do that using the perimeter. So we know that 7 plus 4 plus something, which is our x, has to give us 20, meaning that our x is 9. So is that true? 4 squared plus 7 squared is 9 squared. So that is 16 plus 49 is equal to 81. Is that true? No. Wrong. So A, B, C is not right angled, as Pythagoras doesn't work. Alright, that's what they're aiming for. On to a 3D one. So they've given us the dotted line, that's good. So we need to know the height of it, that diagonal base, to calculate that diagonal space what's called a space diagonal, so it goes right through the shape rather than along one of the sides. Okay, so AB is 7 centimetres, AF is 5 centimetres, and FC, FC is 15, so we know the hypotenuse this time. Calculate the volume. So actually what we need to find out, let me get a different colour or a highlighter, what we need to know is the width, because we know the height, we know the length if you like, or whatever dimensions you call it, we need to know that green line. So let's go back to my red. I'm going to first work out this diagonal along the bottom. So if I lift it out and say that this is FA, what was that letter under there? C. Actually, let me put those lines back. There we go, FAC. We know AF or FA is 5, that's 15. So 15 squared has to equal 5 squared plus x squared. So that's 225 is 25 plus x squared. So 200 is x squared. So root 200 is x. I'm not going to turn that into a decimal because that doesn't, well, I could turn it into a decimal, but I'm going to get a rounding error, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. So we know that this side here is root 200. Oh, I've done that too small. So now if I lift out the bottom triangle, if I highlight the whole thing in green, that might be a bit more. So I'm going to lift out that bottom triangle. So that's laying on the floor, like so. And the sides are 7. We don't know, this is A, B, C. So we know that that's 7. BC we don't know, so we're going to call that X. And we've just found out that AC is root 200. Okay, so this is a right angle, so root 200 squared must be x squared plus 7 squared. So root 200 squared is 200, is x squared plus 49, so that's 151. Although I really shouldn't be using x, I should be using a different letter. Okay, so 151 square root, oops, turn the calculator on, that's a good idea, of 151 as a decimal, and we want it to 3 significant figures. So my answer, well, it's 12, oh come on silly pen, 12.28 dot dot dot, so it would be 12.3 to 3 sig fig. Okie dokie. Number 5. Work out the length AC to 1 decimal place. Again, it's another straightforward one. So I get x squared is 39 squared plus 70 squared. 39 squared, I'm doing this one in my calculator, plus 70 squared is 6421. So x is the square root of 6421. Which is 80.13 dot 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 dot. 1 decimal place, we'll leave it as 80.1. Number 6, work out the length BC. Okay, what do we know? We know we've got to work this out. So 13 squared is 6 squared plus x squared. So 13 squared is 169. Is 36 plus x squared. Take off the 36 is 133. So x is going to be the square root of 133, which as a decimal is 11.532 dot 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 dot. We want 3 significant figures, so it's going to be 11.5. Okie dokie. Penultimate question, so we can get it done in a couple of minutes. ABC is a triangle, that's 4x, so that's 3x there, because you've got an x that side, and a right angle triangle. And M is the midpoint, so this is 2x and this is 2x. So this line here is find an expression for x and turn the area of the triangle. So I need to know that line and that line really. Right, the little triangle in the top corner, it's a dodgy diagram, is x and 2x. So its hypotenuse, I'm going to call it y, is x squared plus 2x squared, which is x squared plus 4x squared, which is 5x squared. Oops, that should be squared. So y is root 5x. And then if I look at the other one, that was that. I'm going to call this one z. So it's 4x along the bottom, 2x up, and this is z. So z squared is 4x squared plus 2x squared is 16x squared plus 4x squared is 20x squared. So z is root 20x. So the area is base root 20x times height root 5x over 2. If you've got 2 square roots, you just times them together. So 20 times 5 is root 100, which is 10x squared over 2, so it is 5x squared. I've run out of time. I will have to just put a little note. There'll be a little caption for what the answer for number 18 is 8 is down there somewhere. Bye!